see a rotund, ruddy-complexioned man in a fez. Despite his bulk, he moves with dignity and grace.
You must be Dr. Ptahsheptut Smith. Nice gold ankh you're wearing. This is quite a party, isn't it?
I find it distasteful to celebrate thievery in the name of science. The artifacts in this museum's Egyptian collection do not belong here. They belong in Egypt.
That's only your opinion.
It is the truth. And the thieves who rob Egypt of its ancient treasures will find death waiting for them. Amun-Ra will have his revenge.
I see. Well, nice weather we're having. Would you say this has been a good year for you, sir?
No. The great treasures of my country's past are leaving Egypt in a flood greater than the Nile.
As I understand it, artifacts only leave your country with the approval of the Egyptian Antiquities Service.
Bah! The Antiquities Service is a tool of the British. If they want to steal something, they steal it, just like the ancient tomb robbers. But they will pay, just as the tomb robbers paid whenever they were caught.
That almost sounds like a threat.
I, Ptahsheptut Smith, do not threaten. I merely carry out the will of the great Amun-Ra.
Have you heard anything about the burglary?
No.
Do you have any idea who would want to steal the dagger of Amun-Ra?
It has already been stolen once, from Egypt.
I can see I won't get anywhere with you on this topic. Since you're an expert on the subject, what can you tell me about Egyptology?
The study of ancient Egyptian history is of the greatest significance. Many of our modern religious customs originated in the ancient world. The time of the great pharaohs and of the great Egyptian gods was the peak of human civilization. Our modern society is a mere shadow of its former glory when compared to the pinnacle of human development reached by the ancient Egyptians. They knew the truth, and the truth was Amun-Ra. He led Egypt to world domination.
Aren't you exaggerating just a teensy bit?
I would not expect you to understand. You are not an Egyptian, and you are a woman.
What's that supposed to mean?
I grow tired of this topic. Speak of something else if you wish to continue our conversation. You dare to mention his name to me? He is the blasphemous temple destroyer and tomb robber who stole the dagger of Amun-Ra from Egypt. He will know the full force of the curse of the pharaohs.
The curse of the pharaohs? What's that?
The defilers of the great Egyptian tombs and temples will all die as a result of their crimes. The gods themselves will punish them. The great Amun-Ra will snuff out Peep and Carter's life as easily as I can crush a dung beetle under my shoe.
How will this happen?
Amun-Ra works in mysterious ways. You will have to wait and see. I had hoped that Dr. Carrington would listen to reason. I had made another appointment to speak with him about the return of the dagger of Amun-Ra to its rightful home. But this seems futile since it is no longer in the museum.
Another appointment? You spoke to Dr. Carrington once already?
Only by phone. He denied Egypt's claim to the dagger. It was hoped that a personal visit would convince him of our sincerity, but the situation has changed since then. I believe he's investigating the burglary of the dagger of Amun-Ra. Perhaps, if he'd stopped drinking, he might have a chance at finding it. Never heard of it. Dr. Miklos is very well educated for a woman. I would like her more if she were an Egyptian. Ah, a delightful girl. I keep asking her if she'd like to be my second wife. She is so very feminine and seductive and charming and attractive and...
Okay, I get the idea.
You should try to be more like Yvette. Men would like you more that way.
Men like me just fine the way I am.
That's what you think. I find you quite annoying. Heimlich is that annoying guard who works here. His fanatical devotion to his occupation is admirable, but he seems lacking in his mental capacities. Ramses I was pharaoh during the 19th dynasty, from 1307 to 1306 BC. But Ramses II made more of an impact on ancient Egypt. Ramses II was responsible for gargantuan construction projects which left his mark on the face of Egypt for thousands of years. I admire his great works and hope to emulate his feats someday.
Actually, I was referring to Ramses Nagia.
Nigeria's... never heard of him.
Are you sure you don't know him?
No? I mean, yes. English is such a difficult language.
Do you know Steve Dorian? He works at the docks.
I don't associate with common dock workers, madam. I have only met her briefly, but she seems to have a sincere concern about my problems. A charming woman. So far, I find the police in your country to be very ineffective. The Egyptian authorities would have captured the dagger thief by now, and they probably would have cut his hands off.
Cut his hands off?
It is the proper punishment for thieves. Tradition demands it. We find it very effective in our country. This could be a fine museum if the management would return its stolen Egyptian artifacts to their proper home.
you think of New York? Isn't it exciting?
It reminds me of Cairo, except that it's colder here and the people are obnoxious.